For this presentation of model-based definition and geometric dimensioning and tolerancing in Creo 4.0, I'm going to work with this gripper link from our robot. So I'll go ahead and set it into the annotate mode. We've had this mode for a while, but what we've done is made it a lot easier to use. So let's go to our first area, and maybe we want to put a GTOL. Let's put it on the surface. Alright, all I have to do is click on geometric tolerance, cursor over to where I need to go, and it puts it right on there. I'll set the characteristic. In this case, let's do flatness, set the tolerance, and it's done. And then, quite often as you're starting, you're going to next put a datum tag on there. All you have to do is the same thing. Say, I need a datum, hover over the GTOL, puts it right in there. We'll go ahead and assign the reference to it. We have lots of new definitions of how you want this thing to look, with an elbow, without an elbow, on the bracket. I forget the name of it, doesn't matter. Basically, put that thing on there. Makes it so fast and easy. Alright, so let's go to our second annotation, and maybe let's actually show a dimension from the center bore. Alright, so let's start with that. So I'm going to drag that up so I can see it, and let's start clearing it out. So let's put a tolerance on it. So show me the plus minus tolerance. It grabs whatever values it has inside the Creo model. I can reset those here, change them around, whatever I need to there. But now if I need to add a geometric tolerance to that, I just drag it down, hover over the dimension, set the characteristic. In this case, let's do perpendicularity, set the value, and go ahead and set, I want to reference datum A for that. You can see it goes ahead and builds the GTOL block. Now, quite often you need symbols, so we have a whole new library of symbols. See, I can go ahead and put the diameter symbol in front of the dimension, click to the end, say let's put the max material condition right there. Notice if I keep going, maybe if I put something in there and I stab the wrong one, we're actually doing analysis to say, no, this is not a valid symbol that you'd want to have on this call out. So it really takes care of keeping it clean, keeping it correct. So as we did before, I need a datum tag, so let's go ahead and put it on the witness line in this case. I'll do the same thing, click the surfaces that I want to reference with that, and now I've got my complete GTOL called out for the center bore. Let's do one more in this view. Let's do these holes down here, these mounting holes. So I need the diameter dimension, drag that down, and as we did, let's set the tolerance. Maybe, again, if you want to change, I want to go to 3 decimal places, change the values, all of that can be done right here. I can add things. So like in this case, I've got 4 of these holes. Well, I need a call out to reference 4 of these holes, so I just say dimension text. Makes it really easy. You don't have to stab out in the field. You just work in the dashboard. So let's put a GTOL here. So this is going to be a position call out. So let's go ahead and set the values we want there. That looks good. Alright, and we're going to put up the secondary reference here, so I'll put B. Same thing here. If I need to put max material condition or any other valid symbol, just add it right in. It puts it in the appropriate format for me. Same thing here if I need additional text. Maybe I want to call out 4 surfaces. All I do is stab additional text, above, below, to right, to left, type it in, and makes it very fast and easy. And finally, I'll go ahead and call out those surfaces again so that this GTOL has true surface references. It'll keep track of them. If I delete one of those holes, it'll even tell me there's a problem here. So it's a lot of intelligence has been added. Let's do just a couple more. Obviously this works fine with dimensions you've already got, annotations you've already created. So here I need to set the perpendicularity of this particular surface here with reference to A. So I'll go ahead and set a value, set the datums, and I'll go ahead and remove those surfaces, or that call out rather, because it just keeps the last one. So if you're repeating them, it makes it fast and easy, but it's easy to edit them. And finally, let's do, instead of a show dimension, let's go ahead and build a new dimension. So if I say I want to, maybe these outer bores, let's do some surface dimensions from here to here. Makes it very fast and easy. You can go ahead and set it, maybe 2 decimal places. New and 4's ability to set, let's set these to max. So there's my overall dimension. And just like we did with the prefix, I can set a suffix. Maybe this is going to be a reference dimension. So just type in dimension text. It makes it really, really fast and easy. Alright, so once you've got that, you go ahead and update your annotations and then save it. So I can save this as a step file, and we have lots of new options there. Obviously the biggest one being the AP242 call out. So I can say save the annotation, save this content, put that into the SDP file. Alright, so now that one's stored away, ready to be used downstream. Alright, so that's the basics. Lots of little improvements that make it really fast. If you're doing lots of GD&T, we also have a new module specifically for that. So this is the GD&T Advisor. So if I turned it on, it basically kind of walks me through and formats these things quickly. So same sort of thing, man, I want to start with this first surface. Well, I just pick that surface, and then it says, well, what are we going to do? Well, there's really only a couple things we could do at this time. Probably you're going to put a flatness tolerance on this. So that's what it suggests. I fill it out. It builds the datum feature right there. So just like that, it went in and put a logical, sort of, this is probably what's next, GTOL for me. Makes it fast and easy. You can do the same sort of thing we did before, put a plus minus tolerance. I can show them, I can accept them, change them around. In this case, what's our call out? It's probably going to be perpendicularity. We just have the one datum so far, so that's pretty logical. So let's go ahead and set that value, set the material condition. I'm going to go ahead and build a datum feature off of that. That's going to be datum B. Once we've got it there, I can drag these around. Once they're built with GD&T Advisor, they're just normal annotations. It's just GD&T Advisor makes this so much faster. But you can see, like, I want 8 holes. The same way we do this in normal annotation, just because it started in GD&T, that's no problem. All right, so let's go do maybe this hole down here. It's going to make a suggestion of what are we going to do. So let's put the tolerance to it, and we're going to do a positional. Again, it always makes that recommendation. There's others that could be, and it'll let you do it if it's valid. But otherwise, just let the system suggest it. So, yep, we need a positional tolerance. Maybe we need multiple, so I can go ahead and say, okay, I also want to call out parallelism to the A datum. So put a value in there, put a material condition, let it build a composite GTOL, just like that. So again, fast, easy, and accurate. That's really what you want. Make sure you're doing the right thing. All right, so let's go build another one. Let's go ahead and grab this other hole. And for that, just going to need a positional tolerance. So give it a value. And let's go ahead and set that tolerance also. Okay, don't need a new datum there. So I'll just go ahead and accept that as is. Drag it out so we can see it. That looks pretty good. Let's do one more. Let's do these patterns of holes. Notice if I pick this hole, it says, hey, there's a pattern here. You want to use it? And I'll say, yes, I want a pattern tolerance. So we'll do a positional, material condition, and go ahead and accept that. So now it puts it over there. Let me move this one. I need to set my selection criteria. Notice what's happened here. So that looks good. It's all set up the way I want, but maybe I need to add some things. So just like we did before, say this is 2 places. Notice it automatically put the 8x in there. It found that pattern and built it accordingly. Now look over in our advisor tree. It says, hey, you have a 0 tolerance. Sure enough, I forgot to do that. I forgot to put a tolerance there, and I can't do that with GD&T. So right from there, it says, all right, let's edit that dimension, put in the values. Now we have a valid dimension. That error message goes away. So it's always doing that sort of checking, making sure you know what you're doing, making sure you're covering everything. Notice here I can say show and hide the constraint state. So which ones are fully constrained, which ones are partial. So it really kind of helps me see where I'm at. Notice it even has a value for constrained by a note. So if I go in and put in a general profile note, and I'll give it a value and so forth, notice it puts it up in front of the screen, but it also changes the legend. See all these other values? Now, because they don't have anything else, but they do have a note that applies, puts it all in there. And of course, when you're done, you still have all the same editing, changing around. I want to put this to the front, and that's probably going to be a little bit upside down, so let's change that orientation. Again, all of this is new. Makes it really fast and easy to get these annotations exactly the way you want. You make whatever changes and keep going from there. So now you've got a great geometric dimension tolerance part. Everything's valid. Do whatever you need to. You're ready to go. So save that model. Move on with your design. That is model-based definition and GD&T in Creo 4.0.